Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome into another week and another edition of the Morning Edge. Matt McKeown joined by John Hyslop. As always, we have a lot to get into. John, got to recap the weekend first. And then, of course, we have our Monday night football picks. A lot went down this weekend, John, including your Lions. They were good to me, good to a lot of gamblers this weekend. What do you think of the Lions game, and are the Lions officially a Super Bowl team?
Yeah, they're no longer in the hunt. They are
They're
they
out of the
are
hunt.
definitely a Super Bowl contending team. Just like I had it earlier in the season. Yeah, I mean they remember they were on the list and people were laughing and
Yeah.
doing the things that they do. But I think now it's finally proven that these guys are legit. They're clearly going to the playoffs and they're clearly going to make a lot of noise in the playoffs. So I'm pretty happy. I'm excited. I feel vindicated a little bit because I mean
You're
they throttled the Vikings yesterday.
comfortable win. You were getting clowned for a little bit, John, for that take about
Yes,
the Lions making. Now, what's their team total looking like? Do they need one more or two more wins?
they got to win one more to get the standard one, but also I went 7.5 as well. Just when you're talking about a Super Bowl caliber team, like you'll take them over 7.5 plus 210. I mean that's just
Yeah, yeah. I
art.
mean, you got it. I'm trying to find what their current odds to make the playoffs are. I'm scrolling.
It probably went from 700. I think it was 750 at one point when we talked about it. Them and the Raiders, and then
They're plus
now
300, plus 300 right now.
plus 300. Wow,
Yeah,
that's
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 quite the shift.
yeah, quite the
It was
shift.
700 when
So
we talked about it.
it's funny. Maybe they're listening to us, John. They could
I
be.
mean, it could be us, but it could also be the fact that they beat the Vikings and the
Probably
Seahawks and Giants also lost, so that could have helped too.
the
With
Giants.
odds, that's with odd shifting.
Yeah, I mean, getting back to that Giants game, I tweeted about 30 minutes before the game that it was nice to give the Eagles another bye week because it was. And then, I mean, what happened on the field just wasn't fair. I actually felt bad for the little Giants in that game. I was hoping like maybe they could come back and score a touchdown or something fun would happen. But yeah, I think we could finally put that narrative to bed that the Giants are actually good at football. I mean, we knew the whole time they weren't, but
Yeah,
that's dead. Some other really good games this weekend, John. 49ers, I mean, an absolute blowout over the Bucks. So I did my quarterback list last night, and I had
okay,
Brock Purdy now in the hunt. So
okay.
he's
I thought you had him sniffing around.
uh,
Oh no, you had him in the hunt. Okay, now I was
I
trying to
had
figure out. Yeah,
someone
yeah.
else
I
said
remember
sniffing
now.
around. Yeah, I think it was our buddy Speedway Steve who threw out.
Yeah, it's like no, we're still going within the hunt.
That was
Clearly, I just want to make sure we're doing that though, because I think we should stay within the hunt.
Yeah, I think it's more traditional. At least this year. Maybe next year we switch it. But
Yeah, very
uh,
traditionalist we are on this
exactly,
show. It's a
that's
traditional show.
it's a traditional show, so we want to stay true to the standard. Big time win though there for the 49ers. Some other early games, John. It wasn't really the best slate, but it's still football, so
No, it
we'll
definitely
have.
sucked.
Yeah, it wasn't too fun. Bengals took care of the Browns. That game kind of sucked. The night game, how about the 49 or the 49ers? The Chargers outlasting the Dolphins. Tua looked like it was his first night playing football last night. That
Mhm.
definitely didn't help, but Justin Herbert outstanding in that game.
A friend of mine, a close personal friend of the show, actually,
Oh,
Andy,
wow.
tweeted out that, or a question. I'm sorry, he just posted a question for Twitter. Are we 1,000% sure that Tua is left-handed?
Wow, that's a great.
So he might be onto something.
Andy might be ahead of the curve here. Yeah, I
What if
mean,
what if Tua's not left-handed? Has anyone even asked that before? I thought it was a brilliant question because if you're watching that game, you're wondering what the hell is going on here. I mean, like he was like 3 for 17 at one point
yeah.
with like 25 yards. So how do you throw 17 passes in the NFL and not get more than 25 yards? Like maybe he's not left-handed.
Pretty bad. And he's also throwing to, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, who are two
Yeah,
of the best receivers. Like you're starting to
yeah,
me new. Okay,
yeah.
maybe
And I can
we're
see.
not getting open, but I mean these guys are
I'll be honest with you. I think we could get more than 25 yards.
oh, I think so. If
He
you,
gets 17 shots
if
at
you
it.
give me 17 chances, I mean you could throw a screen and some guy could break it off. I could throw it to Tyreek Hill and he'll just run
I'm not
everywhere.
running a screen. I'm catching it and getting right out of bounds. But
Yeah. But I bet we could.
yeah,
One last takeaway, John, from the weekend. The Carolina Panthers are one game out of the playoffs. So I mean, they've had a disastrous season. I think they've started a league record 22 quarterbacks this year. It seems like every week they're just like, oh, this guy might not suck. And
Yeah.
right now, Sam Darnold sucks the least, so they're riding with him. They went into Seattle. Seattle is not a very good team, but their record says they're pretty good this year. Knock them off. Now you look up, the Panthers, John, are going to have a legitimate chance to make the playoffs. And I also have to add in, they currently have the tiebreaker over the Bucks. They beat the Bucks earlier in the year. But you think who do you think wins that division? The Bucks, or you think the Panthers sneak up and win?
I don't know.
It's bad.
I don't know. I don't know if you can really say anyone won that division.
Well, here's who the Panthers play the Steelers at home. They should win that. They get your Lions at home. That's tough.
They're not going to win that game.
They play the Bucks and Saints both on the road. So that Bucks game might.
They're both good. They're going to lose those bottom two games, the last two.
Yeah.
Watch. That's how teams like.
They probably have to go at least 2-2 there, right, to have a chance.
Yeah, I think they lose the last three. I think. To be honest, who they got first?
They play
the Steelers.
Steelers next week in Carolina.
They could lose all four of those games.
-2 there. Yeah, it's
tough. Be sad, but I like it. I mean, I like the idea of them.
It'd be fun, right?
You'll see a lot of teams fire their coach and then go to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So they fired their coach. They cut their starting quarterback. Baker got cut. And they're still like in the playoffs almost. It's kind of a miracle. I mean, it's also a credit to that division just being god awful. But bottom line is they're going to have a chance here as we wind down. So the last month of the season for Panthers fans actually means something. That's a surprise. So that's a little bit of a recap, John, on the week. Oh wait, I can't not talk about the Cowboys almost losing to a team who's literally like throwing games. Any takeaways with that game?
The Cowboys won, so that was the most dangerous thing that can happen. I think the my algorithm, the model, is gonna love that win actually, just because it shows that they can show up and play like dog shit and still win a game. And it's like, man, like that's gonna probably prop them up on the list a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what the list is. I mean, I haven't seen it yet because we still have a game tonight. But
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? And about your Eagles too, I don't know. Were you alive in 1998?
That's when I was born. So I was born in August 1998. So I don't think I
now it's kind of coming full circle too, because this feels a lot like 98, and that's also why the list might not be including the Eagles, because in that year there was a team called the Minnesota Vikings, and they went, I think it was 15-1. They only lost one game all season, and I never thought they were going to the Super Bowl. I didn't even think they were going to go to the Super Bowl, much less win it. I never had them as contenders, like even back then on my list. I mean, I was young. I was just a young man back then. But
you were just
I it, dude. So, anyways, they did not go. They actually, I think their kicker, Gary Anderson, missed a field goal, and he hadn't missed one all season. He missed a field goal to send the game to overtime, and the Falcons went to the Super Bowl. So this feels a lot like that, where you get a 15-win team or a one-loss team.
John. I gotta disagree with you.
It feels like that, where like it's all signs point to it, and you're like, oh man, you just know something like devastating like that's gonna happen. So we'll see how the list feels about it.
Yeah, I hope not. I mean, here's the thing.
I don't know that it is. I'm just saying, just prepare yourself. It might be shades of 98, and that's what the list is seeing ahead of time.
Okay, yeah. So I would never be mad at you. I would be mad at the list. The thing with the Eagles, though, here's who they have left. They have the Bears, the Cowboys, the Saints, and then the Giants again. They should win 3 of those 4. So I think at worst they end up 14-2, and they'll get the one.
No, they'd be 15-2 because that's 17 games.
15, yeah, sorry, I forgot.
You know how many games the 1998 Vikings won?
15.
Yeah.
But okay, so here's the thing. So they're going to be favored. They won't be favored in Dallas. Dallas will be favored. But as long as they take care of business, they're going to be the 1 seed. So that buys key, right?
So the Vikings, see what I'm saying? A lot. Like this feels like 1998 again.
No, I'm not letting you say it feels like 98.
It just does. I mean, it just does.
They just continue to just beat the hell out of everyone. I think it'll get.
You know who used to beat the hell out of everyone?
It'll get more entertaining in the playoffs. We'll see. But the Cowboys, though, John, I tweeted yesterday. They should count that as a loss. The NFL should get on them and say, listen,
I think that's what the Cowboys are doing. I think that they counted that as a loss in their personal records.
Okay.
I mean, NFL can't just take those because they won the game, so the NFL can't do it. But I think the Cowboys probably count as loss, which makes them now at this point hungry.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys will finish either 14-3 or 13-4. I think that, so it'll be close, but Eagles are definitely better. So
finish 13-4.
That's who's that?
The 98 Vikings did not finish like that.
I hope we're not the 98 Vikings.
Just saying, be careful. Be careful. This happens, and I hate to see it happen. That's why the list. That's why I put out the list to help fan bases out with not getting too excited because a lot of them get ahead of themselves and think, "Hey, we're Super Bowl contenders," and it's like, ooh.
Well, the list will be out tomorrow, guys, on the show, right? So if you guys are itching to see it, it will be out tomorrow. All right, John, we have to get in to the Thunderdome results from Friday. So we had our friend Connor Allen come on. Look, none of it's pretty, right? But John's is the most pretty. So John ends up minus 0.62 units to win the Thunderdome. I'm there
for that screenshot of me. I look terrible.
I feel like I look decent.
I was playing hurt, man. I was very hungover from the night before, but I was out there just still doing it. And I would like to note too, two notes actually. This would have been the NFC South would have been a great segue into this. You know what I mean? Like no one's really winning it.
Yeah, no one really won.
That was a great segue. So write that down for next time.
Okay. Yeah, we'll add that to the notes. You suck the least. It's okay.
Yep. I sucked the least. Two was Luka Doncic. If there wasn't a red line in between that pick, because it did lose, it was 4 plus threes Friday night, plus 185. Ask me how many threes he had at the end of the first quarter.
3.
So that's not my fault. I mean, and that was almost the greatest play of all time because ask me when he missed his last 3-point attempt.
I watched the game to win the game.
At the buzzer. So if he hits that, that's the greatest play of all time.
That's the greatest cash of all time. So it was good entertainment.
Like, you can't beat that. Like you hit a plus 185 bet on a buzzer beater for the game. So I mean, I did what I could. I almost got us there. And that would have been great. It was not because then I became sad because I was like, wow, he's 3 for 11. Like we should have cashed that. But anyways, hats off to Connor. Thanks. That's the longest run in the Thunderdome history.
It is. Just on.
So that's big. And I was looking at our schedule. And it's nothing like the Eagles, Matt. We have to play someone next week. I'm not going to say who it is.
Big gas coming on Friday, right?
Yeah, I was hoping we would have just some bum that we could just roll over, but then I looked at the schedule and we do not. Actually, we have someone that's very good.
We're not scheduled. The soft schedule.
But, I'll get it together, though, Friday. I'm sure you will, too. We'll be fine. But like I said, I saw the name. I was like, damn, man, we got to play him?
Yeah, it's a tough schedule.
It's not like – where's like that – the McNeese State that Alabama plays every year? You know what I mean? We don't have that on our schedule.
We'll hopefully get one along the way, but for now we're trying to build a resume. So thanks again to Connor Allen for coming on. We will have a new guest enter the Thunderdome this Friday for a much anticipated episode. But John, tonight Monday Night Football. So we're gonna get into it. We got the Patriots and the Cardinals here. This is a big game for New England, who is currently sitting at 6-6. They win this game, they're back over 500. They have a chance here for that wild card spot. Arizona, on the flip side of things, they would need an absolute miracle to get in the playoffs. They're all but eliminated at this point. It's been a rough year for them. New England comes in, though, as a 2-point favorite. Some places, like DraftKings right now, has them at minus 1.5. So that it comes out to about minus 120 on a lot of money lines, minus 115, minus 125. It's kind of been bouncing all over. John, you go first for your thoughts on this game and then what you're going to lock in for tonight.
All right, so this game definitely kind of sucks.
A little bit.
But I don't know if it's that bad. Like, I think we can squeeze out some entertainment value if we bet the right things. And this is going to sound ridiculous, all right? Like, this is going to sound crazy. But I'm going to take Mac Jones over 227.5 passing yards. That's at FanDuel. That's minus 110 right now. I'm going to do it for me, and I'm going to do it for you guys, because this is also a ladder opportunity for all you like. A lot of you guys want to get wild. I get it. You're young. You're wild. You could do +2. You could do 250 plus for +162, or you could go 275 plus for +280, or you could even go 300 plus +520. It all depends on how good you want tonight to be. Okay, but here's the thing. Mac might not be that bad. Like, I'm still on the fence. Like, I don't know what basket to put him in. I know he's not on your quarterback list,
Not
but
yet.
I don't know that he sucks. Like, I know he's not good, but I don't think that he's in the he sucks category. I think that he's guy's always under pressure. Bad weather games too in New England. Bad weather games. A lot of bad. Like, it's windy, it's cold, all this. Well, guess what? This game's not in New England. This game is in Arizona where it's warm and it's inside, so there's no wind. So last time we saw this guy play inside, he went for like 380 yards against the Vikings. I know the Vikings' pass defense sucks, but the Cardinals are pretty much right there too. Let me get their numbers. They are, I think, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They're like 13th in quarterback passing yards allowed, but everybody on the list ahead of them has played an extra game. So after tonight, they will probably be like 5th worst.
Not
I mean,
not good.
no. So you can throw on them, is all I'm trying to say. And even though Myers isn't playing, the Patriots have like 50 guys that they throw the ball to anyway. So I don't even think anyone's going to notice that he's not playing. So there's that. And then on top of it, all we need the Cardinals to do is put up a little bit of a fight, like just a tiny bit of a fight, maybe with a running quarterback, which they have. So we're kind of there. I mean, earlier this season, we saw, I think it was Lamar Jackson went for 100-plus rushing yards on them. So, I mean, they can get run on by the quarterback. That kept Baltimore in the game. Also, coincidentally enough, in that same game, ask me how many how many yards Mac Jones passed for.
How many yards did Mac Jones pass for?
321, Matt.
That'll play.
So, comes full circle.
It does. It
I
does.
feel like all we got to do is have a running quarterback, keep his team in the game, and then Mac Jones, since he's inside, he will be able to throw to keep the Patriots in the game. And now it's just you know what I mean? Like, everybody's just scoring and doing stuff. It's a fun game. I don't know that it goes over, but I think Mac Jones goes over his passing yards.
All right, I like that. I'm going to go to another prop here. So I'm going to go James Conner over 18 and a half receiving yards, -115 on DraftKings. So I think Arizona is going to be in a negative game script in this game more than a positive. I do like New England in this spot tonight, but I see a lot of quick passes from Kyler. I think Belichick's going to dial up a lot of blitzes on him in this game. Connor's been really good as a receiving back. They even split him out a lot. It's not like he just comes out of the backfield. One of their better, offensive threats. You really look at it's DeAndre Hopkins, and then there's a decent fall there as far as talent goes. And Hollywood Brown's healthy. Obviously, he's a big factor. But, I think Connor on the field is their second biggest threat in the run game and pass game. So I think they're going to get him involved a lot in this spot. One screen, he breaks it off, John, for 20 yards. Boom, we catch. It's really that. It could be quick. It could be just a quick, painless catch. That's what I hope it is. But if not, at the end of a game, if you've ever noticed, when a team's down 2 scores with like 3 minutes left, they always just throw it to the running back for like 10-yard pops until they get to the 2-minute warning. So that we got that in play. What'd you say?
A history lesson, maybe?
Yep. See, so that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot that could happen. I do want to point out the last 2 props that we've cashed on the show have cashed on the last play. That I've cashed. If we do it again, that would be crazy. That would be 3 in a row.
That would be 3 in a row.
I would love if we got like the Cardinals were down, like 10 with 10 seconds, and they're just like, all right, we don't have any chance. James Conner, boom, go.
I really want to tell you the story.
Okay, I need to hear it.
Look, a guy named Ryan Nall. He was a running back for the Bears just a few years ago. And his receiving yards over, I think it was like 9.5, right? Okay. He did not catch a pass. The guy looked like he wasn't even on the team, right? The whole game. Just like what you're talking about. It was a primetime game too. Maybe it was a Monday night. I don't know. It could have been Monday night, Thursday night, but whatever. It doesn't matter. It was a primetime game. Anyways, the last play of the game, no chance for the Bears to win. None at all. Like, there's no reason to even be like doing anything. Guess what they do?
What do they do?
Throw the ball to Ryan
What do
Nall,
Ryan
and
do?
around he goes 11 yards. Boom, cash. Everyone wins. I
There-
was getting clowned on Twitter the whole time. It was so fun because it was like, guys, you got to watch the whole game. But that was known as the Ryan Nall night. That was probably the greatest bet of all time because it never had a chance of cashing. Never.
And you will remember that forever. So those are the kind of bets that we want. Hopefully James Conner comes down to the wire here and cashes in for us. So that's a big play for us tonight. I like James Conner here, John, to get it done. Think he'll have his way. This should be a weirdly good game. That's where I'll leave it. I think that this stays competitive. I also need in my fantasy league, my one league with my buddies. It looks like I'm going to get last place unless James Conner gets like 70 points. So
you have to get a tattoo or anything?
Well, my punishment is I have to go to a Phillies game in a full uniform, like with eye black, cleats, and a glove. So that's probably worse, and I have to sit by myself. So, I mean, a lot of people are just going to be confused why 24-year-olds in a full Phillies uniform with –
Bring a glove.
Yeah, the glove makes it bad. The eye black makes it bad. I mean, cleats are awful. You have to walk around with cleats all game. That's pretty bad. So, yeah, if you see me at a Phillies game in a full uniform, it's not by choice. But hopefully James Conner pulls off a miracle. So there's going to be our bets, guys. We got Mac Jones over on John's end, James Conner on mine. Monday night picks have been on fire. We hope to continue that. John, we're also going to be on another show today that I want you guys to all tune into. Yep. We're going to have a couple picks coming on for the spread. I always want to call it the middle, and I don't know why, but it's called the spread. So
the middle was though. Did you ever check that out? I told you last time.
Yeah, I've seen it, but I don't know why my brain's always like it's called the middle, but it's not. It's called the spread. So it'll be us. Matthias will be on. Michelle Beadle will be on. We're going to give you guys some analysis, some fun segments. Make sure you guys check that out as well. That will be following the Morning Edge today. So make sure to tune in to that. As far as the Morning Edge goes, John and I will be back tomorrow morning, as always, with some basketball, hockey, whatever we have, picks. We'll get them out for you. We hope you all have a great Monday. Let's get a little sweep. Let's continue to roll. Have a good day, guys.